Sporting Dog Adventures, run, boy,
That
run.
was awesome.
Everything you
Good
need
boy,
is here under the sun. Everything you need is here under the sun.
The Sporting Dog Adventures podcast is proudly brought to you by Soggy Acres Retrievers. Whether you're looking for a black, yellow, or chocolate Labrador Retriever puppy, please check out our website for more information at www.soggyacres.com. You can also email Jeff at sportingdogtv@gmail.com or call 262-215-9683. And remember, everyone deserves a Soggy dog. Hey, welcome to the Sporting Dog Adventures podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Fuller. I am the owner of Soggy Acres Retrievers. We had our TV show, the Sporting Dog Adventures TV show, that was on for 9 seasons all around the world. And when you're a content creator, you still want to create content. So that is what led me to continue creating content with our podcast. Now, you'll notice a little bit in the background. We've gone, I guess, studio, dedicated a small room in the house so that we have quality sound, so that we have a consistent backdrop, and so that we can basically have just a little bit more professional look so we can kind of up our game. With that said, I thought today we would talk about the future of the podcast, what we're working on, and what my concepts are and thoughts are for the next few months. And it's kind of fun because you talk to people you're friends with, you talk to people that are in your world, in your sphere with the dog world, and you try to get it set up so that you can put on a good show, something someone will watch. You put out on social media that people can give you ideas and that you'll be open to them. And that's kind of where we came to where we're at now. So where are we at now, you ask? Well, with our future in the next few months, I thought that it would be neat to consider continue having a main topic, which today's main topic is what we're going to talk about in the future, and then have our dog training tip as well as an update section. We're getting toward the end of hunting season. We're going to have a hunting tip today on how our season went, but in future, as we get through hunting season, it gives us a good transition for the next 6 months or so until we get toward hunting season to basically leave it more of an open-ended topic type thing where we give updates and ideas. What I want to do is rotate at least every other week between updates on our new Stud Dog Wallace. Wallace is out of Rommel, who's actually the marble statue or marble picture right behind me. Rommel is the dog that I started my TV show with, and Wallace is his son. Rommel's been passed for quite a few years. We did a frozen implant breeding. It's the second time we did this. We had our dog Jackson, who suffered just a minor injury, but an injury that would probably preclude him from passing things. So it could be a breeding dog. So we had a great family friend, also a vet, that we placed him with. And now we have Wallace, who is the future of our kennel. This was the last breeding that we have from Rommel. And it is something that would be fun to just go through like every 2 weeks where Mr. Wallace is at, what he's doing, and his progress. The other thing I wanted to kind of couple with these updates is to explain and follow my life with dogs. Now, I struggled with this. I had to talk to several people, and I thought, does it look very egocentric for me to talk about myself with dogs? But at the same time, we get many inquiries about how I get started with kennel, how I get started with dogs, my love for dogs, training, our breeding program, our TV show, hosting a second TV show. So I thought it would be neat if we kind of went through where I started at when I was a child to where we are now and where I'm headed. So I hope you guys enjoy the next couple of months with these different topics as we go through the different areas of my life, of Wallace's life, and also tips for you as we look at getting into the future of Sporting Dog Adventures podcast. So thought we'd just jump right into my start with dogs in my life. And that was with a medium-sized poodle. There's standard poodles, there's toy poodles. This was a dog that's kind of in the middle. I honestly have never even looked. I don't even know if it's a true breed or if it's kind of a bastardization of the two. But we had a poodle named Snuffy. Now, Snuffy wasn't a expensive dog. Snuffy was just a pet, but he became my best buddy. As with anything with dogs, there are so many highs and then at times so many lows. Snuffy was a dog that we would take with us when we went out in the woods. My goodness, boat maintenance was terrible. He didn't go out as much as we'd like to take him out because it was really difficult dealing with his coat maintenance. He would pick up every little sticker, seed, and burr, and it would become matted in his fur. He had a poodle type of a coat, which was short and fluffy, so it really, really pulled that stuff in. But Snuffy was my best buddy. Went through a divorce. My parents got divorced, and Snuffy was always my constant. He was kind of, I guess, your counselor for you when you're a kid. He was the one that I could talk to, always gave me love. If I was sick, he would lay with me. Always was there for me when I got home, whether my day was good or bad, gave me a reason to either celebrate or give my dog a hug. Really formed my bond with dogs so that I got to the point where I was like, you know what, I am going to always have a dog. They are such a great animal. It is such a great thing to have. And that bond was so strong that I knew I wanted to have a dog for the rest of my future. Did I think my future would be as a dog breeder? No. Did I think my future would be anything that it's turned out to be? Absolutely not. I wanted to have a family someday. I wanted to have kids, and I wanted to have a dog. Just like the American dream, that was my plan. Snuffy was my start. I had Snuffy his whole life until he was 9 years old. And at that point, because my family, parents got divorced, we had to move. Snuffy was given to a family that had kids. He went to a good home. We were confident where he was going, but we had to give him away. That, to the point of my life, other than finding out that my parents were getting divorced, was the saddest day of my life. I didn't understand it. Quite honestly, I still don't understand it. I had to give up my family dog because we were moving, and it just seemed like there wasn't a lot of effort put forth to find a home so that I could keep my dog. But I was also very young, so it's hard to really, I guess, judge one way or the other on the situation. All I know is that my first dog I had to give up, and I had to move into life without a dog. So the next dog that I got was when I got married, and we'll talk about that in the next part of the show, what led to that, what led to the choice, the breed, the color, and why I wanted that dog. But it turned into ultimately my first dog that I started my kennel with. So we'll have all that and more in subsequent weeks, as well as coming up next, we're going to have an intro and update to our dog Wallace. And we're going to have an end cap part of the episode, which will talk about my hunting season and how we did and the fun that we had. We'll have all that and more coming up to this. If you love the shooting sports like I do, you need to check out our friends at Mech Outdoors. They have fantastic products, whether you're looking at shot shell or metallic reloading, or you want to get yourself a clay thrower so you can practice up for the season. For more information, check out their website at mechoutdoors.com.
Welcome to Boucher in Janesville, where customer service is our #1 priority.
Our customers come back to us because of the experience that we provide for them.
We're here to make sure that we find you the right car, one that fits your budget, and do so in a timely manner. When we say we ride with you every mile, it means we care about you and how you are treated.
Estamos con personal que habla español en los departamentos de servicio y venta.
Our certified technicians are here to help you with all your service needs.
Visit us today at boucher.com.
At Boucher, we ride with you every mile.
Hey, welcome back to the show. So, this part of the episode, we're going to talk about the wonderful world of Wallace. Wallace is our new stud dog. He is currently coming up on 6 weeks old, so he's still up in the kennel with his sister, Marin. And it was a litter that had 2 live pups, smaller litter. It was a litter that was done surgically with frozen semen from Rommel. So there's always a lot of potential complications in smaller litter size when you do those litters. This was also stuff that was a collection that wasn't as productive. So kind of to the point where you're like, all right, you do the best you can. You hope for the best. The litter before this one that we had done produced 7 puppies. We had kept a male named Jackson. Jackson got a slight eye injury that just put him in a position where he's fine, he's healthy, he's doing great. But when you use a dog for a breeding program, they have to pass certain things. He probably wouldn't have gotten through his medical clearances, so Jackson was placed with a family friend who is a vet that has kids and was a great home. When you have a dog business, and we've had this in the past where we've taken dogs and placed them with families, people will say, oh my God, you're so terrible, you're so mean. What you have to realize is that you have a breeding program. We already have a total of 6 dogs now with Wallace. We kept Jackson, we would have had 7. And it gets to the point where to keep the dog is actually the wrong choice, because the more dogs you have, the less attention they're going to get. So even though it hurts, I love Jackson, still do. Great dog. I mean, he was such a fun puppy. The best choice for him was to put him in a family where he got more attention. Now, Wallace, we're going to wrap in bubble wrap so nothing happens to him. And he was playing with another dog and got plowed over. We will make sure that doesn't happen either. But we are going to put him in a position that he can grow, gets ready for next summer. Next summer, he'll start running competition. And he is going to be a big part of our kennel, the future of our kennel, stud dogs. He's black. He throws chocolate. He throws yellow. He will be probably somewhere around 75 pounds. And he is going to be just a little brute. He already is. He already is funny. When you breed dogs, you go back to a dog like Rommel that I was incredibly bonded to. He lived till he was 15 and a half. You see mannerisms in their children. And it's even more fascinating when you have a dog that's been passed away for as long as Rommel has. And my goodness, 15 and a half, he was pretty elderly. So it was pretty rough go for him as far as even getting around and being funny, even though he was. But you see these mannerisms that Rommel had, and you see them in the puppy, and it's fun. It's going to be something that is going to make 2025 a really great year for us. It's going to help us get through loss of our kids, and he will now be our fur kid, and he'll join the rest of our pack that we have. In our house, we have Memphis. She's the elder lady. She is my personal dog that I go everywhere with. She's my little car buddy. She's also our camp dog when we go hunting. We have Lexi. We have Lucia, who is out of the realm of breeding from the last time. We have Tank, and we have Ace. So Wallace is going to slip in, be a wonderful part to our family, and also become future best friend. So as we go through the updates on him, we will just explain where he's at and what he's doing. Right now, he's out in a kennel. There's 2 pups. They were just weaned. They're on food. They're going through their final parasite protocol, which is what we do the last 10 days, where they're treated for intestinal parasites. Not that they have them, but puppies can get them because, one, they don't have the ability to fight it off because they haven't had it before. And they also pick things up because they are getting them from their mother through their milk, and also because in a kennel, well, it's a kennel. It's just like being outside. Dogs get things. They build up a tolerance to it after they've had it. So you treat them, you get him ready to go in a house, which is my house, and then he will be good to go. When we start our puppies out, they're on dry food at 7 weeks. Actually, they're on dry food at about 5 weeks. They have all their teeth. And the big thing from there will be starting him with his potty training structure in the house with discipline and teaching the all-important, most important word, which is no. It's the one thing you have to get through to them is that, yes, they live in a house, and no, they don't get to run the house. So that's the fun of a puppy. It is something that goes fast, but seems like it sure drags on as you're trying to get them through it. But overall, Wallace is going to be a wonderful addition to our family, and I hope you guys enjoy following him as he grows. Next up, I wanted to talk about the finality of our hunting season that is fast coming and how we did this year and looking toward the future. We'll have all that and more coming up after this. It's Jeff Fuller from the Sporting Dog Adventures podcast, and I need a little help. Please stop what you're doing and give us a 5-star rating. Follow us on the platform you're on. Give us a thumbs up. And above all, share our podcast with your friends and family. Our podcast will grow even more, and we can get more people involved in the sport we love with dogs in the field. The Sporting Dog Adventures podcast is proudly brought to you by Soggy Acres Retrievers. Whether you're looking for a black, yellow, or chocolate Labrador Retriever puppy, please check out our website for more information at www.soggyacres.com. You can also email Jeff at sportingdogtv@gmail.com or call 262-215-9683. And remember, everyone deserves a Soggy dog. Hey, welcome back to the show. So this is the last part of our episode today. We are going to talk about our season hunting on our properties in Wisconsin. My dream when I was a kid, hunting public land, sleeping in a tent, was always to have my own property. And I've been fortunate enough through hard work and making some good choices that my family is blessed to have 2 different properties. One is a property called Soggy Acres Signature Lodge. We no longer run it as a lodge, but we did for several years when I filmed TV. It's a mainly cattail marsh that has wonderful waterfowl and deer. And then I have my house where my kennel is, which we moved to a couple of years ago, which is more of an upland type of a property that has great deer. And we're also going to do some additions to it that will help create a little bit more water so that we have the ability to maybe have a few ducks in, and also next year starting to work on ecosystems on the property, micro ecosystems, small little areas that we're going to put into CRP, which will be with a type of a deer bedding / monarch butterfly mix blend on the seeds. And it's going to make basically what is a belt across the whole part of the property where it goes from CRP to woods to CRP to woods to CRP, so that it gives the animals run through an area that will make them feel more safe, give them more bedding area, and hopefully hold more animals on our property, as many of the animals that we're seeing are coming from other properties. So it'll be a neat 2025. Our 2024, wow, it was something. We did well waterfowl hunting. We had a good opening weekend. I had my best Wisconsin mallard hunt. Of course, there was only 2 of us, so we got 8 birds. But we just had that day when we were in the spot where the birds wanted to be. They came in. It looked like a flooded timber hunt. If you've ever duck hunted down in timber where the ducks just come in fluttering straight down. For whatever reason, the mallards wanted to be there. Every time we shot, one went down, and they all fell within about probably 10 to 15 yards of the blind that we sat in. The funny part is I figured the next day, no brainer, going to have a great hunt the next day, and we got one wood duck. That was it. And that was just a bird that was following the water system we were on. But it was a fun season. It was frustrating. We started out where we had high water. The high water on our property itself, we were coming on where we had a good population of pheasants, and it just wiped out their nests. So it's kind of sad. We had a wild population of pheasants that was started. I thought this is going to be the coolest thing for the future. We'll hopefully have a good number of birds. Ultimately, we had a hunt where we were duck hunting. We shot only 3 ducks, but a pheasant walked out to the edge of the river, and we shot a pheasant as well. Clayton and I made the decision we're going to take those birds and do a dead hang taxidermy with the ducks as well as with pheasant, which everyone will be like, why the hell do you have a pheasant with the ducks? But it'll be fun because that was our hunt. It was just he and I, and that was something we'll always remember. As far as waterfowl action, probably an average year. I mean, we had high water at one point, then we had low water, then we had water again, and then we had no water. So it could have been a lot better. It was really shaping up to look like it was going to be a phenomenal year. And we got basically a good solid 10 days. And then we got a little bit of water back. We got a couple of other hunts in, and then it pretty much just died. Waterfowl season's now closed. Our deer season up there, we did solid. Clayton got a really nice deer. He got a 135-inch 10-point. I shot what would be considered a management buck / bully buck that was in an area. He was I thought a 6-point, but he was a 7-point. Narrow spread, but very tall. And it was just a neat hunt. While I was being frustrated, I sat in a stand. We had gentlemen that were duck hunting right by me, and you're like, man, the last thing I wanted was to have my stand I was going to sit on and have duck hunting 400 yards from me. I mean, literally, I could watch them. I could see them with the naked eye where they were at. If I put the binos up, I could watch the birds fall, the dog go out and retrieve it. It was a fat dog, too. So I got to watch the fat dog go out and retrieve it, and their spinners spinning. About the time I was trying to figure out, all right, I'm going to sit until X amount of time. Where am I moving to? My buck came out. He was on my list of, if I see him now because it's later in the season, I would take him. And ultimately took the deer. The neat part about it, it was off of my late son Callahan's favorite spot we call Stubby. It's up on a root pile. It's just a 2-person stand. It's just the top, so it's 4 feet tall. And you're sitting on the root pile, so you're probably up about 12 feet. But shot the deer going by the Argo Trail and went 20 yards. Fell over. Had another buck come in, check him out, and the whole time watching the guys duck hunt. So it turned out to be a neat hunt, a fun hunt. Teaches you something. If there is waterfowl hunting in your area, the deer really aren't going to care a whole lot. But ultimately, a fun year. We still have one more deer hunt we're going to go up and do, my son Clayton and I. We're going to go take a couple of does to help with the management of our property so we don't have too many does. And also, when it comes down to it, it's funny because people talk about being self-sufficient. All I eat is venison, turkey, and waterfowl, and occasionally an elk if we get one. That is what I do for food, and it is something that is fun because it's you're doing something that's good for your body, but you're also doing something you enjoy. So that is how our season went. It was a memorable season. Overall, I also took 2 turkeys this spring. Overall, probably the most well-rounded season I've had with success, and made a lot of good memories with my kid. When you get into hunting, so often you will have people that are all about what they get. It's not that, it's the memories. I had a lot of friends I hunted with this year, a lot of good memories, and many, many memories with my son Clayton. So get out there, spend your time, spend it wisely. Spend it so that you're having good memories. not going to lie, I like to get animals, so it's part of it too. I like success, but that's also part of the game too. Setting your stands up, setting up your food plots. Next year, setting up our different little areas that are going to make an overall ecosystem in a bunch of different smaller pieces. And then looking at stuff for the future so that you can really have it where you are creating something that is going to bring the animals in, but not only bring them in, but offer them a safe haven, offer them foods that are healthier, and offer them somewhere where you can go and watch them and hunt them while they are in nature itself, and not just sit over a pile of corn and hope that a deer comes in, but actually watch them in their natural sense. It's kind of like a game where you're setting up, whether it's for waterfowl, for turkey, or for deer, you're setting it up to try to put yourself in a position for success. And that's why I really love to own property. So I hope everyone else had a good season this year. It's just starting for some, it's over for others, but enjoy your time. Look back on those memories that you've spent with family and friends. You can't get those memories back. Cherish them and really look forward to making more of them in the future. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. We're getting toward Christmas. We're going to try to do an episode next week. It'll probably be on these ecosystems that we're going to create and what they're going to do. But I want everyone to continue watching our show and give a heartfelt thank you. Hope everyone has a wonderful December and a wonderful Christmas. Take care. God bless.
Sporty